Hello, my friend. So, it's a bit of a weird one. I'll give you some context to start with. I've been having a really tough time. I'd lost quite a few family members in the last 5 or 6 years. I'd then had it where like a relationship had not been working out after 5.5 years, and then that went to pot. So there was that messiness. I'd lost a load of work, and there was some other stuff going on. Point being is, I then chose to do a lot of THC. Weed was my one thing because I don't drink anymore. I don't go out and do party drugs, and I'm very conscious about my health, funny enough. And I got to the point where it felt like I was just carrying a corpse. Everything just felt heavy. Everything was hard work. DJing became hard work. Doing the meditation classes, anything that I used to love was just feeling like a slog. So after doing this, I did this DJ set for this Lloyd's TSB undergraduate from the finance side, and it just was everything I don't like about events where people were pissed and being mindless and coming up and asking me to put Taylor Swift on. I'm like, I ain't that kind of DJ. I've got to buy these tunes and I'm not purchasing Taylor Swift to put on. Sorry guys. And I got home and I sat there and I was like, something had been saying to me for a little while, it's time. It's time. And I sat there and something came up again in my head after that DJ set and just feeling like that wasn't for me. It's time. I was like, yeah, isn't it? And I've been having this feeling that I wanted to go to a forest. I don't know why, but I've been wanting to go to a forest and just be away. You know how it is, man. Just at work and phones and drama and everything. It just gets a bit too much. Everything's always fighting for our attention. We're always doing. Even teaching meditation, I still found I was doing all the time. So I thought, I want to go big. So I decided to go to an ancient forest. This is one of the only ones that no one really bothers you at in Britain anymore. So it was up in Scotland, Galloway Forest. And I planned it, or I don't do things half-assed. So I had this van that I've already been converting. I had like double bed, Mr. Heater, all these, like I packed a lot of food and water, shower, everything, man. And I planned where I was going to go. I'm going to go there, and then I'm going to go there, and then I'm going to go there. Funny enough, I'm still doing. And I wasn't going to go on my phone, so I told everybody don't try bothering me. And in my head, I had to go all biblical, yeah? So I had to go for 40 days. I had to go Jesus style, yeah? Don't know why I thought 40 days, but it just came to me. Big chunk of time. And I had this feeling that we never really go through a transition from the childhood to the manhood or the womanhood. It's just, oh, you're 18, yeah, get pissed. All right, it's not really much of a ritual. So there'd never been this moment where I'd accepted that I was stepping out of childhood into manhood, and there's all these little boy parts still running the show. So I thought, they need to be integrated now, and the adult side needs to come, because some of this heaviness, some of the drama, losing your dad, for example, that's not something that a kid should really be asked to deal with right now. This is for the man to take over. So I'm going to go to the forest. I got like my own little knife, and which is also a whistle, and you never know, and then just like axe and saws and like bushcraft books. I was going to go all fucking Bear Grylls, yeah? So when I went, I thought it'd be a fun idea to keep a journal. Heads up, it goes to 10 days, not 40. 10 was enough, without any distractions, not even music for a DJ. That was hard. So it's a little bit of therapy for me, but also I remember there being loads of helpful stuff in this now. I was very close to psychosis, so that might have not been the case. It might have been ramblings of a madman, but that also should still entertain you. So I'm going to give you day one, and hopefully it's at least entertaining for you. But thanks if you decided my little 10-day adventure in the ancient forest, bit more context actually, started developing a panic disorder. Unbeknownst to me, that's not in this journal. I don't know I'm developing a panic disorder, but I've been doing a lot of THC and had a lot of trauma, and then I went cold turkey pretty much, and my nervous system was already, which I've now learned is a sensitised nervous system. So that's not dysregulated where, I go up but then I go down and then I go up again. No, that's just constant full volume. So my whole system was going nuts and I had no idea. It gradually gets harder, and that's why it's only 10 days. Now the panic disorder was like, I was having like loops, so it got stuck where I'd be having a panic attack for like 12, 13 hours straight. Go and have a shower, and then it'd be another 7-hour one. Try going to sleep. I woke up every morning to it. Got untenable, and luckily through my own sort of mindset, my own practices, and then I did get some medication from the doctor which helped me sleep, and I think I had a massive chemical imbalance, so that did help. But I don't think that was the be end all of the panic disorder being processed and integrated and sort of understood better. I think it was because I thought it was going to get worse before it got better. My mind changed, and then the panic attacks stopped. And they started a little bit again. My mindset changed again. They stopped. The panic attacks haven't been happening now for at least 3 months, maybe even more. But there's been potential ones a lot. And I'm still getting a lot of chronic fatigue and chronic pain. So my system's just completely burnt out. But I feel a lot better than I did. So I'm going to do a bit of therapy, read this. So should we get to it? So we've got I don't even know how this is going to go, but it'll be fun to read. So the Ancient Forest, day 1. So this was a Thursday. We've even got a little thing pointing to that it was pissing down. I remember that. 30th of October 25, so 2025 last year. So this is my first journal. I thought I'd start on the first day of my time in the Ancient Forest of Scotland, Galloway Forest. I've been extremely low, with a lot of pain and discomfort in my body. Arinyani has been calling for some time. Arinyani is the spirit of the forest. One of my friends, Wizardry, he did a dance for a while at Transmute with Joshua Bazuki. It was called Arinyani, spirit of the forest, so a bit of context there. So yeah, Arinyani's been calling me for some time, and the suffering has become so intense that I've decided to spend 40 days here in my van, brackets Michelle. That's what I call the van because I think I'm funny. I spent the first part of the day with Jules. It's one of my good friends who she ended up being a hero, who's such a sweetheart, and we have a beautiful connection. We went to the cafe at the building she teaches yoga, the Ministry of Yoga. Go check that out if you're in Crewe, by the way. Then I made the drive, 4.5 to 5 hours drive that was, and it's getting wetter and darker the more I get to this forest. And I don't know, but my nervous system's on the skit, so I'm getting like terrified, and I don't know why. But dark forest, driving into it. All right then, yeah, from Crewe. I decided to stay for the night in a lay-by, hidden nicely behind some trees, about 25 minutes from the planned first spot, due to it being pitch black when I arrived around 6:30. So it wasn't wise going at that time. After rustling up some lentil burgers and a cup of chamomile tea, I began to feel panicky. It's all making sense now. Frightened and overwhelmed. After struggling to swallow a large bite, my mind began obsessing. What if I choked? This sounds very much like a sensitised nervous system. It's making far more sense to me now. No one would be here to save me! Exclamation marks, 3 of them. I decided to lie down. And then the sarong Jules lent me with circles and elephants on began to look trippy. I remember that. I'm looking at it and I'm like, I'm meant to be sober. Why do I feel like I've had a psychedelic? Like I'd taken psychedelics. I began to let the intense sensations I was experiencing out through sound. So I'd been learning through one of my friends, Ursula, to release a lot of trauma through sound, and I'd also sort of picked up on it working with a shamanic Mexican shaman. He does lots of sound activations called Ruben Yontan. So I've started to see the power of letting out sensation through sound. I wailed, shouted, screamed, cried, and lots of ahs. Again, 3 exclamation mark. I remember that. It was straight away. It had been bottled up, clearly. It felt as if someone was crushing my head, chest, spine, and abdomen. I cried over the loss of my family, especially Dad. I allowed very hateful parts of myself to express through sounds, and then they spoke. So before you think I'm a madman, I use meditation to stay present. So meditation, I don't feel is something you do, it's something you are. It's that present state of awareness, and that can be done while you're doing anything as long as you're present. That's why I didn't get psychosis. And also, when I'm talking about, I let those parts of myself, I don't know if you're aware of internal family system therapy, but I did that with a great therapist after my dad died. And IFS, basically you let different parts of yourself, so the angry part, the fearful part, the sad part, the son that lost his dad, whatever, you let them speak. And And also happy and sad, because we're made up of a myriad of different vibrations, frequencies, and it's not just about letting the nice, pretty ones have a voice, but it's about learning to understand by listening. I understand you by listening. Well, you understand yourself by listening to those parts, but don't confuse yourself for being them. You are the presence that can hold them. I feel like that's what fathering and mothering yourself would be. They said they hated me for abandoning them just to appease others, not allowing them to express because I was afraid of being rejected by people. They said I deserved to be in pain for it. One said it killed the rest, meaning from what I could tell, this is in brackets, people that care about who have passed, previous incarnations have had. Okay? I've never been massively into reincarnation, but you'll see why I start getting into it now. Especially, it just makes sense actually. Anyway, I digress. It said it would follow me for eternity, so I sent it love, and I vowed to do this whenever it appeared again. Little trick for you, don't get into a dialogue with your parts. Obviously you can ask how it feels and such, but there's no point trying to have a discussion with yourself, because, well, that's like one step from the madman walking around the streets, but at least you know to do it inside your head. So when you're talking to yourself, yeah, just let it vent, let it speak. Be a soundboard for it to just release that energy. So yeah, I find presence and love's all they ever really need. It got rageful at my lack of fear and dissipated. A part of me whined and complained about me having to suffer so much, when others who were behaving far less conscious seemed to be fine. Then sounds and what felt like an ancient language came out of me for some time. Yeah, I'd hear people doing light language and think, you've lost your rocker, mate. I have still got that manclad in me. You've gone nuts. What's all this gobbledygook you wumbling? But then it started coming out of me, and this was before this. And I find, even when it's happening when I'm not around anyone, a part of me's like, oh, fucking hell, this is weird, man. But it feels so natural. I don't know, maybe there's ancient dialect coming out of a part that wasn't 34 years old, like the Michael character is. It began to make my body shake and convulse. A lot of heat was coming from my right hip, and it twitched and then became tight, but still. Eventually, around 9:30, see how fucking long this has been going on for, I calmed, exhausted. I decided to have half a cacao. So tasty, the Ser de Lago cacao from Amazonic. Fucking hell, I'm even plugging shit that's on the shop to myself. Oh, joker. It is really nice cacao though. If you've not had the Amazonic from the Meditation with Michael store, get yourself some, it's banging. Now I'm listening to the torrential rain outside. Oh yeah, it was fucking going for it. And I'm from Manchester, which is quite soothing. Before I read the start of, oh God, I remember this, the Bhagavad Gita, A Walk Through for the Westerners by Jack Hawley. My system had gone nuts. Everything felt like it was falling apart. So I want you to imagine like you feel like the craziest psychedelic trip or the worst panic you've ever had constantly. So anything I did was like amped, and that Bhagavad Gita, because it's threatening all my egoic structures of who I am. I'm knocking down every wall, every pillar. The house is starting to fall. It's like, shit, everything feels like it's falling apart. I don't want to just be presence. I want to be Michael. Yeah, anyway, you'll get to know about that if you stay listening to this journey that I went on. Oh, and during the earlier experience, there was a lot of fear of a tree falling on me in the van. Brackets, thanks Bobby, ha. Yeah, my mate Bobby, he's my business partner as well for Aether Herbals. If you don't know what that is, go down to check out the Meditation with Michael store where you can find a dream healer for you. Anyway, I'll put a little advert at the end of this so you can actually know about it, because they really do believe in it. But anyway, this is about the journal. Yeah, so Bobby had been saying about, because he's fucking on it with foraging and wild camping and all that, he's like, don't camp up behind any trees, because you think you're trying to block yourself from the wind, but they can fall because of the wind. Well, I'm parking on this fucking lay-by, aren't I? Thinking, I can't go and find somewhere in this dark forest, it's well too dark and the hectic rain and the winds. But now there's loads of trees that could easily just crush me, and my mind's gone, it's gone off. Like, thank God for meditation, let's just say that, because it was going off. So many feelings of I am going to wake up as a Michael Pancake. And about being a fool. So yeah, there's a lot of fear of the tree falling on me in the van. Thanks, Bobby. And about, if you're watching this, Bobby, but also thanks because I didn't get hit by a tree. And about being a fool, incompetent, an idiot, unlovable, hated, ugly, lost, confused, just wanting something to help me. Sound familiar? Definitely an interesting start to this pivotal adventure I've embarked upon. What's next? Question mark, exclamation mark, question mark. Fucking right. What's next indeed. Right, well, I don't know if that wet the whistle, tickled your fancy, but it gets fucking nuts from there. That was the calm start. Well, thanks for listening if you are. That was quite interesting for me to read. They get longer, so I think I might release day 1 and 2. You can have a little binge if you're getting a bit hooked on the story. It's real funny. But yeah, there was lots of rain still happening at this point. I'm going to go to sleep now in the book. But if you want to watch the second one, and I'll tell you a little bit about Aether Herbals in the following advertisement, sponsored by Aether Herbals. Peace and love, man. Thanks for listening. Alright, so I said I'd tell you a little bit about Aether Herbals, eh? So, the Dream Healer. It's cool, this one. So this one, if you know, you know. We've got the blue lotus flower, which the Egyptians used to love. Lucid dreaming, it also calms the nervous system. You've got mugwort from this land, England, if you're watching from abroad. Bobinsana bark from Peru. And then rose petals to give it a bit of a gentle vibe. And then Bobby the Forager. Absolute genius. Imagine Walter White from Breaking Bad, but he's gone into the wellness community instead. And he says we don't put no poison with our medicine, and he's absolutely right. So we use apple cider vinegar, organic apple cider vinegar, and then a little bit of agave. And you have this before you go to sleep. And you like lucid, vivid, restful sleeps. And if you work with it for a while, because some people aren't sensitive to it straight away, it gets real interesting. So yeah, the Dream Healer, if you want to get onto that, it's on the Meditation with Michael store. I'll put a little link for you. And then we've got the Agua de Florida spray. Yeah, man. Again, no poisons, so no alcohol is in this. It's all organic, like witch hazel rather than alcohol and such, and water. And then he's made, Bobby again, Agua de Florida ether spray. So we've got the ether drop, the ether spray. Well, I mean, I can't make you smell it through the camera, can I now? So I'll take my word for it, but it's nice. So if you want one of these, feel free to go down to the store and we'll sort you right out. You'll be helping out a local business with local people. And you can go into the dream world, which you spend 8 hours a day if you're lucky doing, and then get your aura all nice and cleansed. Alrighty, till next time, peace and love.